Georgia's yearly spring game G-Day scrimmage is always one of the biggest recruiting weekends of the year, and this year is no different as the 2022 Georgia Bulldogs try to defend their national championship, and they're going to have plenty of big-time talent in the stands to watch it all go down. Of course, that's what this video is about. Multiple 5-stars will be in town, multiple commitments, some top targets in the 23 class, lots of big-time prospects are going to be in town, so that's really what I'm going to talk about. First, I do want to say that compared to other years, it may not be the biggest or most talented G-Day list that we've seen, basically because it's the day before Easter, and a lot of these kids have been taking visits recently the past few weeks. A lot of these kids, especially the in-state kids, have already seen Georgia a good bit, so plenty of out-of-state prospects still coming into town. And I think the weather should not be all that great, too. I think the rain might keep some people away. But one of the guys who will be there is the top-ranked player from Washington State, Jayden Wayne, who confirmed to us that he'll be in Athens this weekend with his parents. 6'5", 245-pounder was in Athens last summer, was back in November to watch Georgia defeat Charleston Southern, and then he was in Athens in late March. So this is a guy, one of the top prospects in the country, number 27 overall prospect, according to 247, big-time edge prospect. He's seen Athens before. This is a guy who takes a lot of visits. He's a nationally known prospect, likes Alabama, likes Miami, likes Ohio State. He's being courted by the big boys. Georgia's one of them. So he's very familiar with Athens. This is going to be another trip down to the Classic City for him, and he might be the highest ranked player in the country who will be attending G-Day, so definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Another is Hakeem Williams, 4-star wide receiver, dynamic, 6'3", 190-pounder out of South Florida. Confirmed to me that he will be in Athens this weekend. This will be his second visit to Georgia in the last month. He was back in the end of March and will be back now at the end of April. Right now, I believe there's a Georgia-Miami race. He's the number 6 wide receiver prospect, number 10 prospect in Florida, and the number 39 overall prospect in the country in the 23 class. Another 5-star who I think should be in town. Sam and Pimba out of IMG Academy, big-time prospect out of Missouri, 6'4", 245 pounds. Big-time edge defender who can get after the passer. Elite quickness off the ball. Played some receiver too when he was at Missouri as a sophomore. Just one of the better athletes on the field at all time, especially up there. Two-way player, like I said earlier, but he's going to be playing on the edge, getting after the quarterback at the next level. I don't think Georgia leads here. I think Ohio State is a team to watch. I know Miami is really doing well with a lot of those guys in Florida. So is the Gators, too, have his attention, and he will be at their spring game later this week. But he's another guy who told me he'd be in Athens. And, again, he's a 5-star talent, one of the best in the state of Florida for that 23 class. So definitely a prospect to know there. One of the best in Georgia is C.J. Allen out of Lamar County. Big-time player, 6'1", 220 pounds. One of the hardest hitting defenders in the state of Georgia. 91 tackles last year, 7.5 TFLs. 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. The guy does it all. I was able to watch him at the Under Armour camp in Atlanta. He looks the part. I think he is high on Glenn Schumann's board over at Georgia. He's the real deal in my opinion. Can run, can hit, can sniff out plays before they really get going. Does a lot of his damage in the backfield. And then, of course, he showed he can get after the passer on blitzes and can run them down in the backfield. But he can also make plays in coverage. He's got reliable hands and, of course, picked off 3 passes last year. But he can come and hit. He's physical, can help really against the run, can do a little bit of everything. And, he's one of the top defenders in Georgia, in my opinion. I think I have him number 7 in the state of Georgia for the 23 class. So definitely another defender to watch, and one that I think Georgia is in a really good spot for right now. Solid mid to high 4-star guy, in my opinion, and one of the top 10 players in the state of Georgia. A few offensive linemen will be in town. They've got to get some guys in there on the offensive line. I think it's one of the strengths of the team right now, but eventually they're going to have to try to start bringing in a little more 5-stars in than they have in the past. And one that I think they're trying to trend for right now is Cam Pringle out of Woodland High School in South Carolina. Dude's a giant, 6'7", 330. number 2 offensive tackle prospect in the country, top 100 prospect in the country, number 1 player in South Carolina, a lot of people believe. But this guy with size, strength, power, can play tackle. He's got the frame for it, and I think he's still a lot of potential right now for him. He's still developing, working on his craft, but he's a big guy with a lot of promise, and I think one that the Georgia staff would love to bring in. If Stacy Searles can bring in and sign Cam Pringle, that would be huge in this class. Another guy out of state, one of the top offensive line prospects, in my opinion, TJ Shanahan, out of Texas, Westlake High School in Austin, told me he's going to fly into Atlanta on Friday and will be at G-Day on Saturday. He's a big, strong guard prospect, 6'4", 325 pounds. So he's got some size. He's got some mass on him, a lot of muscle. I think he would be a major pull for new offensive line coach Stacy Searles. And a lot of these guys play with a mean streak, and that's what TJ Shanahan does. He's been excellent in the cam circuit, one of the best prospects or offensive line prospects in Texas. Always good to try to get one of those guys. And I would not say the Georgia leads here or anything like that, but I do think they have his attention. And for him to come out Easter weekend to check out the Georgia Bulldogs in their spring game says a lot about where they probably stand in his recruitment. So I wouldn't count Georgia out at all. Wouldn't say they lead right now, but after a big visit, who knows? I think Georgia could maybe get back into the race there. Then Vyson Lang, another massive offensive lineman from Pike Road High School in Alabama, 6'5", 330 pounds. He's another guy on Georgia's board. I don't know where he is on their offensive line board, but big old kid, 3-star, might try to rise in those rankings. We'll see how he does out there. But another offensive lineman to know who will be in town this weekend. So overall, big-time group. Multiple commitments will be in town. I'm still confirming with guys who plan to make it with teammates, family members, coaches. So there's going to be a giant list over on DawgPost. So those are just a few guys that caught my attention who told me that they will be in town for G-Day. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I will see you over on the website.